All right. It's Saturday morning. Welcome to this morning's podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Blake here at On Point Podcast, where we help you get your financial point across. Welcome. Got some great information for you today. And hey, it's a wonderful day in the USA, and good stuff. I want to bring my son on board because Joseph the third here, he's going to be kind of leading things, and I'm just going to kind of fade a little bit to the background a little bit. Joe Blake, you there, son?
Yes, I'm here. Okay. There we go. I'm here.
All right, good, son. Kind of there a little bit. I wanted to share something with you, son, before we get started. I wanted to share a picture. This is a friend of mine that came to Arizona this weekend. His name is Neil Nichols. Joey's familiar with him. I have known Neil we were 13 and 14 years old. That's a picture of us to the right there. We've been friends since we were teenagers, and we're close to 60 now, but we have grandkids, and that's another friend that we've known in Stricker Street. And I see Neil every so often, but we're both authors. He's written a couple of books. We both we're in the Air Force together. Neil retired. I retired from the federal government. Neil has a master's degree, but we both came from Stricker Street in Baltimore, Maryland. Neil was here with his wife, Patricia. It was a wonderful time, but it was, it's like anytime you get someone that came from the same place you were, and we lived 2 doors down. I lived 915. He lived 913 Stricker Street, and we were able to get out to Baltimore and make good things in life. So I wanted to, and he helped my son when my son worked in the fast food industry when he got started in his life. So wonderful thing. I just wanted to point that out and say, hey Neil, he's back in North Carolina right now. All right, but son, so you're leading us with our share today. So I'm gonna go ahead and just turn it over to yourself there.
Okay.
So go for it.
All right. So today, for one, I just want to say I'm glad to be here. Glad to have the opportunity to present something today. So this is my first time presenting on my father's podcast. It's going to be a pleasure. But today we're going to talk about FinTech and how it influenced financial literacy of families. And so my dad, he's a leading voice when it comes to financial empowerment. And so I want to kind of pick his brain as we discuss this. And so I want to discuss today how we're going to discuss how technology is transferring the way families earn, save, and grow their money. So before we dive in, I would like my father to go ahead and just share a little bit about what he knows about the subject.
Okay. Technology and finance has changed tremendously. I've been doing it for 31 years, and I tell you, when I first started, everything was on paper. Everything was about paper. I used to carry one of those big bins of in the trunk of my car, and I had different papers packages together for life insurance and investments. I would have like 4 or 5 packs stapled together, and I had those packets and the prospectuses all lined up, and I had to make sure the dates were right and the forms were current. when I went to someone's home, because if you miss a form and you didn't have the right form, or the date was up, the form wasn't up to date, uh, you can miss a payday. So that's how I started, man. It was all paper.
Okay. And I can vouch for that because I've kind of, been under his wing for a very long time growing up. I've seen him go to clients' houses, and he'll have a suitcase with full of stacks of paper. And I didn't fully comprehend what he was doing at the time. But as the time has progressed, and I've seen us grow in this digital age, I've seen his paperwork thin out a little bit, and it's been converted more to like a desktop, laptop type sort of thing. So I've seen that. Everything. A lot of companies in general have done away with formal paperwork, and we're not more doing everything electronically, doing business electronically. So that kind of plays into FinTech. So let me get to the next slide real quick. All right. So in FinTech, we're going to discuss the importance of the modern financial habits, and the leading question is, when was the last time you walked into a bank branch? For me personally, I don't go into the bank branch for my personal finance, but I do have a rental property, and that's probably one of the very few rare occasions where I actually walk into the bank and I make that mortgage payment on that rental, because a lot of my deals are seller finance. So I'm going to pose a question to Dr. Blake. When's the last time you walked into a bank branch?
Actually, the other day, really. What I do notice though is like growing up with my mom and going to the bank was like a common thing. And you'd go to the bank, there'd be several tellers there, to help you. But now you go into the bank, you may see one or two tellers there. So the tellers are gone. You used to have a conversation with the tellers that are there, but now it's like you may see one teller, and then there's machines in there, or uh, ATMs that you talk to. They'll direct you to go to this ATM, that ATM, and so you miss that conversation that you would have with the tellers, because everything is like going automatic right now. So it's not really a person friendly place to go anymore. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
removing that personal touch. So it's like the banks are different.
Yeah.
They're becoming different
And the
now.
bank I go to has been a credit union. It hasn't even really been one of the more established banks. So the credit union still has that neighborhood feel to it a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to define exactly what fintech is. The textbook definition, at least, is fintech are technologies, tools, or platforms that assist and improve financial transactions and services, technology-driven financial solutions, apps, platform services. An example of fintech would be like mobile banking, a digital wallet, investment apps, robo advisors, and P2P payment platforms.
Mhm.
All right, so I know I was kind of slow to the whole digital wallet thing. Now I use it all the time with my Apple Wallet, because I have a hard time keeping up with my wallet, my cards, and so it's been really convenient to just kind of use the new technology with that. And I know a lot of establishments, they're kind of slow to embrace it. Walmart being one of the more stubborn ones, which is kind of surprising to me. But like, you go to your neighborhood, gas station or whatnot, a lot of them have the capabilities to accept like that wireless payment, and I foresee that being a growing trend over time.
Right. Everyone's moving towards a cashless society.
Yeah. So how would you say that in the past they handled just these transactions like this? I'm sure like growing up, fintech wasn't really a thing, right?
No, it wasn't. I mean, you had to have cash for everything, and cash was king. And as we moved along the way in society, I'd seen it. I actually seen it coming. And we were like moving away from having cash, and we moved from having paper money to using plastic money, and now it's digital, where it's it's not paper or plastic. Now it's on the phone,
Hmm.
and we think it's just the it's not just the United States, it's overseas. We went My wife and I went on a trip last year to England, and so we went to the bank and we transferred our American dollars into British dollars, and we went over there and we went to buy stuff. We broke out our pounds, because in Britain they use a pound, and we had our cash there. They said, no, 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 no. You have a card? I'm like, oh, wait a minute. My brain was going on tilt because I was like, hold on, I got some British pounds right here. They didn't want that. They wanted the digital money.
Did the cards have tap to pay?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
They did. And this is another country, man. This is like they didn't want the cash. Yeah.
I mean, what's amazing about all this new technology that they're coming is that it comes out so fast, and then we adapt to it quickly, and we're using it every day, and we don't think about the leap that has happened, because this wasn't a thing growing up, and it's not. It's something that's happened now. So it started with they putting the chips in the plastic, and then you had this tap to pay. That was something new. And then for me, the shift from the tap to pay to the Google to the wallet, the digital wallet, that's going to another direction. So it's like the concept of money is changing.
It is. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Good and bad, because it's instantaneous. It comes out of the account like that. Back in the day when you wrote a check, it would take forever. Like when I was overseas, when the mail would come, that your bill would come. Especially when I was overseas, mail would take like a month.
You know what? Hold that thought, because that kind of leads into our next slide here.
Okay.
All right. So without FinTech and with FinTech, banks have singular control over the world's wealth. That's without FinTech. With FinTech, people have more control and access over their money. Transactions are laborious and time-consuming without FinTech. With FinTech, transactions are instant and easy. And then without FinTech, tracking transactions are limited and incomplete. With FinTech, all financial transactions can have easy documentation. So here's a brief history of FinTech. Well, they're dating it back to 1838, where the first electric telegraph was introduced for the first time. And in the 1950s, the Diners Club released the first universal credit card. In 1982, the world was introduced to Trade Plus, the online brokerage platform. And in 2009, the first version of Bitcoin was released. And in 2013, Google was first launched, followed by Apple Pay in 2014. Now, I'm a big fan of crypto. I can't say I'm a fanatic, because I should know more about it. But I've noticed Bitcoin has been increasingly popular, and I don't know what the price of it is today, but I've heard that it's like for one Bitcoin is worth close to like 125,000. And I guess when it was probably more around 117,000. And when it first came out, I mean, it was virtually nothing. So for those that invested earlier, they're reaping the proceeds today.
At the same time, we don't support or recommend things of any type of specific investment, but just stating the information just for thought.
So we'll talk about, I guess because I was moving on something that says how FinTech influenced the financial literacy of families. So before FinTech, there was a lot of banking with the paper statements, waiting for checks to clear, and having no real-time insight. I'll let you elaborate a little bit more on that.
What I was saying is that when I was overseas, and this is back in the 80s, by the time you got your mail, it was a month. And by the time you paid your bills by check, you had to mail your paycheck I mean, you had to mail your check back to the States to pay your bill. So by the time I got the bill and I wrote the check, the payment bill, and it got back to the States, stuff was late. Wore my
Mm.
credit out.
Oh man.
So by the time I got the payment, then I mailed the payment. But by the time they got it, it was late. So when I was overseas, my credit was like trash because the time frame it took to get the check, to get the bill, mail the bill back, it was trash. So when I went from England to Arkansas, I had to rebuild my credit and everything. Good thing Arkansas has the cost of living there is very, very, very low, very cheap. So, but when I got to Arkansas, I was able to clean my credit up. But that time span between back and forth, it made it very late to pay things off. Now, when you have FinTech, you can pay things in like boom, a second. It's faster. You can keep on
Right.
top of it.
Almost instantaneous.
Instantaneous, yes. It was a lot faster for families. That's the reason why it matters.
All right. So today we have mobile banking apps. How many people? Well, it's kind of hard to ask without a live audience, but I'll pose the question anyway. How many people have a mobile banking app?
Pretty much
sure
everybody.
quite a few. I mean, I bank with even local credit unions have a mobile banking app. We have a lot of budgeting tools, investment platforms. You got peer-to-peer payment systems like Cash App. I'm a big fan of Cash App. Some people prefer Venmo. You got an automated savings app. Each of these tools can play a role in building your financial literacy. So, Dad, I was just curious. Which fintech tools would you say people should focus on first, and how can they avoid getting overwhelmed?
Whatever one suits you, what feels good to you, and so when it feels good to your spirit to use, you use that one. Now, obviously, I recommend that you download my app, which is our app, which is the Actionable Financial Literacy app, Actionable Money. You can get that on Google Play and on the Apple Store. At the end, I'll show you the app, but you can download that app because that gives you fundamental tools that helps you understand what financial literacy is, which lasts a lifetime, and financial legacy, which lasts for generation. That gives you the information that you need to understand how, where, and when to deal with financial literacy, and that gives you the first step. After that, you get those apps that are better for you, and work with you. Now, as far as the payment ones, I actually use all three of those: the Venmo, the Cash App, the Zelle, because I have kids in other states and in other countries, grandkids, and I want to make sure my grandkids get their birthday gifts. That's why I use those.
Mhm. Okay, awesome. So here are real life examples of how people are using fintech. People struggling with late payments and no savings, they can turn to these things to automate their bills, set saving goals, and track their credit score. Um, so case studies for fintech. So like you were saying before fintech, you had the issue, especially being a deployed airman, you know, making payments because you would get paid at a certain time, you would have to mail the check, so that would cause you to have late payments and it destroyed your credit. But with fintech is automatic, ways for people to track their payments and their savings and improve credit scores. Because I think a lot of times you can do an allotment on your bank account or something sometimes to go ahead and automate some of those payments. So Dad, you coach a lot of families, with similar turnarounds. How do you motivate them to stick with a plan?
You motivate folks by letting them know the end result. If they know in the end what they can have, they can stick to it. Because sometimes when you're starting out and you can't see the end of the road, or you don't know what the end of the road could look like, you somewhat give up. But if you know at the end of the road that you can have this pot of gold, and this pot that no one in your family has ever achieved, you say, look, you can have this at the end. Well, no one has ever achieved that, but you can, because you know what it takes to get there. you have that roadmap that you can write that, like say like if you're going to drive from where you are to Vegas, Joey, now you can get to Vegas because you know it exists. But if you have a map to get there, you can make it.
Right.
So if you have a roadmap, that makes the difference. And so I
Hmm.
provide a roadmap for those families. And once they have that map, they have something to follow.
Okay.
That makes
That's
it
awesome.
easy.
All right, so we're going to talk about the risk and rewards with fintech. Um, some of the risks is some of these fintech, apps they can have poor security.
Mhm.
That puts them at risk for cyber attacks. Some users don't know how to use the app or the technology, so they don't get the full benefit of it. And then some could be people resistant to change, and like different institutions like well, I hate to throw a name out there, but there's different retail stores don't want to adapt to the new technology. They're used to doing business a certain way, and
Mhm.
so those are some of the risks with fintech. Um,
Another risk,
what's that?
being able to access your resources so quick.
Mm, yeah, I
A
can
lot,
see that.
the market, because people are able to access their like their investments and their their assets quickly, can take away from the market so fast. There was a time where the market would go up like 500 points or go down 500 points. It would take like a week or so for it to change that fast. 500 points
Mm,
would take a week for the market to go up and down in a week. Now it goes up down 500 points in an hour
mm,
because people can jump in and out of the market so fast because of fintech. You can just go on your phone and but boom, and when it's not just one person, it's like millions that they
right.
have instantaneous access. So
Yeah, I could definitely see that, and then I can imagine, from a coaching perspective, like you might have challenges with different clients where they don't have that discipline to keep their money invested, and they want to pull it out, and then so when you pull
boom,
it out, you're not getting the full benefits.
yeah. But as long as you have the education, this is they'll maintain, and that's the
Hmm.
key thing: is get the education, understanding of what it means when the market does its thing, and then when the market is on sale, you got to understand that when the market does take a dip, it means that it's on sale, and so that's how I educate my clients so they understand that when the market does
Okay,
this way, that way, they know they have to find that fundamental understanding.
okay, and this is kind of a double whammy with as far as poor literacy and poor security. I have a background in IT and cybersecurity, so it's an opportunity for, well, I'm not so much an opportunity, but it's a risk for some users, especially maybe elderly users that are not familiar with the apps and the software and the tools. They can be misguided, or tricked into giving out information, and then people will hackers will get their information, and unfortunately take advantage of them. So that's a risk. That's another risk with fintech.
Yeah, yeah.
So with some rewards, so the rewards of it is it's easy tracking. um it's accessible, um and also you can automate it. I think we spoke a lot on some of the rewards and benefits of it. Unless there's anything you want to add about it.
Yeah, rewards is like easy tracking, like you said, automation, like putting money into your account and everything. That's automated. You can see it grow. You can go online yourself and track your funds, and that
Hmm.
makes things a lot uh, fundamental.
Yeah, more convenient. Convenient. All right. So, fintech, what's next? Emerging technologies today will be everyday tools in the future. Technology like blockchain and NFTs will be even more refined, impacting financial transactions in the future. More tools to improve ease of access to money and credit will make transactions even more instant than they are now.
Yeah.
So let me see how. So
Okay.
we're headed towards more blockchain integration, AI-driven financial planning, and ultra personalized financial coaching in real time.
Yeah.
From your perspective, how can families prepare now for the technologies that will be common in the next 5 to 10 years?
You know what? That'll be something we can finish up on next week because
Okay.
next the next generation of things that's coming out, that is going to be something that people are going to have to feel that they have to prepare for, because there are some
Hmm.
things that are coming, and there's some things that's going to be coming out, and people have to really be able to maintain and watch for, because they are there's some things that are coming in the future that we have to be really mindful of, and some people the new technology is coming each year. Um, uh, you know how we go to the Consumer Electronics Show, son,
Yes, sir.
and we see all the things that come up.
Hmm.
That those are the things that we need to see, and that's going to help change the things that folks we see this at the technology show that helps us. So that the new things that are coming, we'll talk more about that next week and have more information about it. But just want to remind everybody, this is the link to the second book that we have. It's called Building Financial Legacy, and the legacy lasts a lifetime. So you want to download that link for that. You can download the book for that as well. Make sure we also like and subscribe to the channel. There's more of what we have to share, and it's just always a wonderful opportunity to be able to share the information with everybody for our On Point podcast here. And I want to thank my son Joseph. Job well done, son.
My
In the
pleasure.
end, all right. And just remind everybody, be here next week, same place, same time, same bad channel, where we help you get your financial point across. And always remember to stay tuned, stay on point, and stay here on the On Point channel. See you again next week, everyone. Have a great day.